So it's day 17 of my 40 days of truth. And I'm finding it much easier now to actually just speak the truth all the time because there's no real reason to lie, or I haven't been faced with a very tricky reason to lie, especially these last 2 days that I've been off work for mental health reasons. But I started thinking to myself about those things that we tell ourselves or that we believe to be true, and we sort of like tell ourselves that they're true to the point where they actually start to become true. You know, we sort of surrender to these aspects of our personality, or what we think are aspects of our personality, and we use that as an excuse to not improve. You know, like I've gone to the gym every day for I've gone to the gym 3 out of the 4 days that have passed. And I think that it's helping me clear my mind a little bit, which is good because clear mind, happy mind, I suppose. But it's also coming into light the kind of mental blocks that I have. Even when I'm working out, sometimes I even feel like I go to the gym as punishment. You know, I punish myself at the gym because of transgressions that I feel that I've done, you know, whether I ate something bad or, you know, haven't gone in a while, or, you know, it's sometimes the gym, it makes me feel better, but I'm wondering if it's not some sort of like negative positive thing. I don't know if that makes sense. One of my friends, I was telling him, like, I told him before that sometimes I go to the gym and I lift heavy and I just kill myself at the gym because I feel like I deserve it. And I'm not sure if that is a healthy way to approach physical fitness. I mean, like, it's better to do it than not do it, and I know that. And part of it is because I know how good I'll feel afterwards. But the feeling when I'm there, especially when I'm doing hard exercises, there are some times where I get to a point and my brain is saying, you can't do this. You can't do it. You just can't. And it's because I had never done it before, or I had never done it well before. But that voice in your head, the voice in my head anyway, that tells me that I can't do things, it's hard because it's such a loud voice. And the only real way to combat it is to create a louder one. And maybe the loud voice feels like a lie in the moment, but it's necessary in order to counter the opposing lie. So when my brain is telling me I can't do something, it's not that I can't do it, it's that I haven't done it before and it's not accustomed to doing it. And I get this can't in my head. You can't do this. You can't lift that much. You can't walk with this amount of weight in your hands. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do a chin-up, which I know that I cannot right now, but I'm getting much better. It's such a strange thing, like when your mind can create these blocks, and your mind can also create these situations where you can fight through the blocks, but you need to actually create a voice that tells you that things are not the way that your other voice is saying they are. You know, like, it's like that devil on one shoulder, angel on the other type of dynamic, where you have one voice that's saying, you know, why even bother? You can't do this. You can't do that. It's like, why even try? And then you have the other voice that's saying, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. You've got it in you. And it's so much easier to listen to the negative things about ourselves, especially when it comes from our own self, our own self-analysis. You know, I I look at myself and I can see the ways that I need to improve, and I know how to do it. I know exactly what to do. I know when to do it. I know in what way it needs to be done, but doing it is so difficult. And I think that for at least for the last few weeks, especially this past week, that devil on the shoulder has been the only voice I've been listening to. And maybe I should probably get help for that, voices in my head. But yeah, the negative voice has been the one that I've been listening to. And it doesn't matter how many people tell you that you can do it. When you have it in your mind that it can't be done, it's not going to get done. And it's been helpful. My trainer has been really helpful because it's also my friend, and like we sort of like share things, and we talk about life in general. He helps me out with my meal plans and stuff, but at some point it's out of other people's hands. At some point it becomes your own problem, and it becomes your own responsibility. You have to be the one to create that voice of positivity, and you have to be the one to tell yourself that you can do something. Because the truth of the matter is that we're all capable of a lot more than we think we are. And sometimes realizing that, especially for the self, is so difficult. One of my friends had told me, and she was talking about women in general, how we're very hard on ourselves. We're very introspective. It's part of the neuroses that women have. And sort of like as far as big five personality traits, overall women have a higher tendency towards neuroticism. And that's absolutely true. And we're very critical of ourselves. And we're very critical of others. But the amount of critique that we lay on others is nothing compared to the critique that we lay on ourselves. So she was telling me that women are like butterflies. They present, so beautiful and so strong and so like graceful, but they can't see their own wings. And as cheesy as that sounds, in a lot of ways it's true. In a lot of ways, we can't see our own positive traits because we're so focused on the negative ones. And we can't appreciate ourselves for what we are because we're so consumed with what we're not. And I've been thinking about that in terms of lies and the truth. And you know what? That negative voice is telling us lies. It's telling us lies. And we're lying to ourselves. And it's part of my whole thing about the most difficult part of this whole challenge for me for Lent is the lies that I'm telling to myself. And that voice is a liar. I can do things, like when I'm doing the bear crawl at the gym and I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. How am I going to go backwards without getting on my knees? And I think I can't do it. And the minute that I think I can't do it, then I can't do it. But I had a breakthrough in the gym when I actually just did it. I stopped thinking. I was like, don't think about, can you do this? Can you not do this? Don't listen to that voice in your head. Just let your body do what it's supposed to do, what you've trained it to do for the past year. And it happened, and it was good. I did it. So that is one thing that I'm going to work on personally, is to not even to block out that voice, because I feel like if we don't listen to the negative voice, then it just gets stronger and more angry. Sometimes I feel like we have to sort of commune with that voice and sort of take it in and listen to what it has to say and make peace with it. Like there's always going to be a part of our brain that's telling us we're not good enough. And that's fine, because maybe that part of us will push us to be better. So we can't ignore it. But at the same time, we can't be consumed by it. And we can't be consumed by this, I guess what I would call it in the sense of the whole religious and spiritual aspect of this is evil. So we have this evil side of our brain that's telling us, no, 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 we can't do this. This is impossible. And then we have the sort of enlightened, like the Holy Spirit, the good part of our brain that's telling us you can do this. And we have to listen to that and celebrate the small victories, no matter how small they are. And yesterday, even when I did the video and it was day 15 and 16 together, because 15 I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. Even that short video, I felt like I had accomplished something. And it's something like one of the rules that Jordan Peterson had set in his book is to not to compare ourselves to who someone else is today, but to who we were yesterday. And I think that that's probably one of the more, like all of those rules are valuable. I can't really value the rules about kids because I don't have any, not letting your kids be someone that you don't like. So I can't speak to that. But I do see a lot of value in treating oneself like someone that they're responsible for taking care of, and obviously, to be a better version of ourselves every day. So that liar in my brain, I'm going to try and commune with her. I'm going to name her. I wonder, what? Let's name her. What should we name her? I'm going to just name her Bertha. Bertha sounds kind of cowish. She's a cow. Now she is anyway. And I'll name the good side Jack, because that's what my godson calls me. He calls me Jack ever since he could speak. I was one of his first words. He could say Jack and he could say fat cow. And even to this day, he's almost 11 and he still calls me Jack. So we'll call the good version of myself Jack, because the way that he sees me is the way that I want to be. And I think that I'm able to do that. I just need to really take the time and commune with that bad part of myself that shuts me off from the world, and that makes mundane tasks, even just the remedial things like getting up in the morning, making the bed and stuff, it makes those things difficult. So I'm just going to work on that liar and trying to identify the moments when Bertha is telling me lies, so that Jack can sort her the fuck out. Anyway, that's me for today. Anyway, I'm feeling better-ish. It's I'm able to talk to you, so it's better. And maybe I'm running at about 75%, 77%, but it's slowly getting better. And I think that the introspection, going too far into it, like the reductio ad absurdum, I think that was one of the factors that led to me sort of calling it in for a bit. So I'm gonna work on that, and that's day 17. Day 17 of 40 days of truth. So much easier to tell the truth to other people. Still hard to tell the truth to myself. Yeah, when you got to deal with lies, yeah, it's a firm but gentle hand. Noblesse oblige. Yeah. If anyone caught that Mary Poppins reference, then we can be friends. Anyway, everyone have a great night, whoever's watching, and feel free to share. I don't have anything to hide. So have a good night, everyone.